Okay, this is All Fluff No Filler.
I'm Elena.
I'm Rita. And we're here on the land of the Coast Salish people, traditional stewards of the land, and we are very happy to be here. It's very beautiful.
It's very beautiful
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah. I'm also glad that this is where like my Seattle really shows, is like I'm grateful that it's not sunny. And it was raining like earlier this week.
Okay, I was pretty mad about that, but only because I was outside walking in it every single time that it was like pouring and was like, this is terrible.
I was like, oh, it's so cozy. I think I texted you because Paige and Sarah had just posted, and it was like early in the morning. It was my favorite time. I was just like, I had a candle lit. I was knitting. I was under a blanket. And it was like pouring, and I was like, oh, I'm in heaven. It was so good.
I don't mind the rain when it's outside, but when I have to be in the rain, like coming home from the gym, it was like not super fun. And what was even worse is that as we left, Colin was like, oh, I think it's going to rain. And I was like, whatever, we can deal with that. And it was like coming down when we were leaving the gym at like 9 p.m. And I was like really mad about it. And he was like, you literally just
I literally just told you.
Like, yeah, but that's different than it actually happening to me right now.
Yeah, and for anyone who like doesn't live in Seattle, it's like I have heard it called an aggressive mist is usually what we get, and that feels like very accurate to me. It's like the rain here.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like constantly gray most of, not like during the summer,
Winter.
definitely, but like fall, winter, even like early spring is like gray.
Yeah,
it's just a nice little cloud cover.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna follow the regular podcast method, and then probably talk about Flock at the end as it comes up to acquisitions. And I think I took some random B-roll, but it's basically just me filming Elena, so you'll probably just see Elena.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I don't think you filmed me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So just be pictures of Elena. You're welcome. We will get to Flock, but first we will start with what we're wearing. Oh, she's too hot. It's kind of hot.
I had to walk over here. I've done a lot of walking today. I walked to the gym this morning and then back home, and then down into Fremont for lunch and then back home and then over to Rita's house and probably back home. So I'm tired and I didn't want to wear it.
It's very reasonable.
I could have put one of my finished objects, but even the thought of that made me just feel like too sweaty.
I am wearing the Rotor Top by Irene Lynn. It was gifted yarn from her. And it was Kama Rose, Love Tanned, Organic Linen, and Elfenben, and Knitting for All Pure Silk and Putty.
I remember giving you that yarn because you were looking at, I think it's the yarn that you used to make your sweater number 15.
Yes.
Those lovely, beautiful cables. It's like a Mayak organs, like a wool. It's
I got it in like a kit. Yeah.
And it's like
Before
a sport weight wool, not like Mayak's usual like yak bases. And I remember you talking about like, oh, what if I did this? And I was like, that's so fun, but what if you die of heat exhaustion? And she was like, oh, I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah,
I was like,
just sort
here,
of like,
take this from my stash.
It's white, it's the right weight. End of thought.
Yeah.
Because like I, again, didn't really know what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
But it turned out great.
Yeah.
I tried
you wear
to have
that all the time.
Yeah. I tried to have it done in time. This is like a theme in my life. I tried to have it done in time for Flock.
The first Flock.
The first Flock. To like have it be ready. And there were like so many Rotor Tops that first year. And I was just working on it. So
I think you were like down on the bottom ribbing or something. Like you were pretty close to the end, I feel. Yeah.
I didn't quite get there, but
that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's whips.
Finished objects?
Finished objects first? Okay. See?
Okay, so this was a whip in my last podcast. This was a whip in our last update.
It's her podcast now.
Yoink, I'll take ownership of that. This is the Avenue Tea by Tori U. This is slinky and hard to show. Thank you. It's just a curtain for you drinking your milk tea. This was brain fart. The Avenue Tea by Tori U. This is Treehouse knits. Yak silk fingering base in the colorway always the babysitter. I think I knit the 4th size. I think it should be like approximately 44 inches around the bust. Hi, wow, that is a little bit kiss on my foot. Thank you, dog.
Unseen to you.
Oh, cold and wet. I knit this with size 5 needles. I had cast it on to have kind of joined in the round just kind of past this point. Tough to see, just past this point. It's knit flat, kind of starting up here and then down and then joined in the round. And I started it before a big 2-week vacation just to have something joined in the round. And I think I didn't touch it for like the first week of vacation. And then, I don't know, we had just like a slightly more chill time where my brain was like, okay, now I can work on something with increases. And I just blasted through the yoke. It was a fun knit. I felt like the body was kind of a slog after a certain point because it's fingering weight yarn. And I was alternating skeins at some point, although that generally does make me knit the body of things faster because my little potato chip brain is like, oh, just one more row. Oh, gotta catch up to the beginning of the round marker. And just in my next finished object, that was definitely a thing that occurred. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I think the color is really pretty. It's like a nice, like dusky, like lavendery gray purple color. I will say I'm not like super thrilled with this like base in this specific use context, and maybe just at this gauge. I feel like it's a little sheer. It's quite lovely. I think it will be nice for like fall. I wore it on the second day of flock and it was like 85 degrees that day. And I hadn't really looked at the forecast because I was like, the weather can't get me inside. And it was fine inside. And then we went to dinner with my mom later that evening. And I was like, oh, I'm dying in the short walk from the parking lot to the restaurant. I also, it's not as bad on the outside of the garment, but when I like changed later on in the day, I had like just all sorts of like fuzzies, little, I think they were like, I think it's the yak in the fiber. Because I've never seen like a merino silk or like a merino nylon blend do this, but like I'm just covered in fuzzies, like little gray purple fuzzies. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like it doesn't really change anything, but like I would say overall it's a slightly more delicate base. And like there's definitely, I think it's like fuzzed up, or there's like a little bit of a halo where it has kind of seen some abrasion from the bag that I was carrying on my shoulder at flock, but overall it is lovely. I will not use this base, I think, again in this, you know, kind of garment context, but I think she would be so lovely in like a shawl, like anything around your neck is gonna be like drapey, beautiful, gorgeous, and it really does
feel so good.
Have like the loveliest sheen to it. Like the silk is so pretty. The yak gives it kind of a more grayish tone. I think the original colorway for this is more of like a blue, but like it goes very purpley gray. She's lovely. I'm happy with it. The end.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you hide that from me? Oh, hide, I know. Hi, no, sweetie.
I kept maintaining that I hadn't finished this so I could get her reaction in real time.
I'm gonna cry. I'm so happy right now.
So this is my Margaux top by Gregoria Fibres. This is another one that I tried to finish in time for flock. Did not happen this year. Knit on US 2.5s, which
so teeny.
Such a random number. I had to buy that. I actually ended up buying the needles like 3 times.
Please don't cry at me, Dino.
And it's from Red Door Fiber Studio in their classic DK, and the color is called Caidree. I haven't worn it yet. I just finished blocking it last night.
How do you feel about the length of it? You were really concerned about it
I
growing.
I think this season, I honestly didn't try it on even.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I was really concerned this was gonna grow like a ton more.
Yeah, you were concerned about it becoming a dress, and I was like, I don't think with like a 2.5 or like a 3 millimeter needle, I don't think that's gonna grow horrifically, but I think it, you know, will grow with the eyelids especially.
I wasn't sure about the super wash and how it's gonna work, but like I love the color. The finishings are very interesting. I ended up doing like a small modification. You're supposed to cast on with zeros and then switch to 1.5.
That's actually pretty normal for like a tubular cast on, because your cast on edge can be a little bit looser with like just that kind of cast on.
Okay, that's nice. But
also that's teeny tiny needles to cast on too.
Very tiny. They're like my sock needles. So
like DK weight. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine at the bottom. I remember being okay. And then I didn't own 1.5s, and I had already ordered the 2.5s. And I was just like, this is such a weird size. Like, I don't want to do that. So I kept knitting, I think by accident first, all the way up into zeros. And then I read the instructions. And because I'm not used to a cast on being different from the size of the ribbing. And
interesting.
I was just sort of like, oh, okay, well, that looks fine. So I'll keep going. And then I switched to the 2.5s for the body. And then to maintain consistency, and also because I didn't own 1.5s, I did it for the neck and the armholes. For the armholes for her pickup rate, it ended up being like half this size because I think I did the bind off kind of weird and my pickup rate was strange. And so I put it in my arm, and my arm like very technically fit into the hole, but I was like, this is not going to be comfortable. Especially No, you're supposed to finish the seam, the 3 bind on the top. I think it's to mimic the. So
I'll allow it.
Yeah,
I do like it.
I thought about it because I was like, are you sure it's supposed to be on the outside? But then when I thought about the rest of the design, I was like, no, that makes sense. I had to do a lot of like weird weave-ins here to like make it look more seamless. But I don't know. I'm very happy with the size. I'm very thus far looking at it. And then I love the like subtleness of the hand dye variation.
It is very nice.
There's just like slightly lighter white lime green patches on it. I am just very excited. I think in our knitting club, obviously people have different tastes. And so like someone was just like, oh, are you like, you should wear that for like safety on your bike. Cause it is like, it's extraordinarily bright. But it's like, oh no, also like I
just like this color.
Yeah, like it just like makes my brain happy. So that is my Margaux top. Inspired by the twins who knit.
Very not twins color.
Yes.
Very not twins. So my next finished object was not a thing that I showed off in our last podcast. Eagle-eyed viewers will recall that I did not show this in our last podcast. I mentioned 2 whips that I was like, I haven't touched those in months. They're not going to be anything that I make progress on anytime soon. One of them is still a whip. It's here with me. But one of them I finished. And this is my Winona Polo. Oh, look at the pretty buttons.
She looks so
I got these buttons at Flock. I'm pretty excited. There is a seller whose name I will not remember. So I have these lovely wood buttons. They've got kind of an indent to them. They came on a little
those look so good
cardboard thing of 6 with, they were like mismatched. So there was like 3 of this and then 3 that were like fully indented concave. That sounds right. Yeah. Anyways, we spent a lot of time talking about these buttons. This is the Winona Polo by Emily Chen. This is, I used my last flock yarn from last year, which was Pigment and Plies and Hellhounds yarn. There we go. This is the Eldritch base, which is, I think, 50-50 Cordell BFL. I don't remember. It's a really lovely base. It is a fingering weight. It has a really like kind of dry, springy feel to it. The finished fabric is like super matte as compared to like the Yaxo fingering. And I cast this on, I think, sometime in March. And I think you were shortly going out of town, which is the only reason I remember this. And you were gone for like a week, and I finished almost entirely all of the body in about a week. And this is a fingering weight sweater. And again, it was because I was knitting helical. And so my brain was just like, ooh, gotta do the next one. And I blasted through the body. And at some point I got down to, within like a couple inches of where I ended the garment, and was like, oh, you know what I should do? I should probably put the sleeves on this and see how I feel about the length once the sleeves are on and the collar is on. And because I had to make a decision and pick up for sleeves, I instead threw it in a corner. And cut to
emotionally the right choice.
Yeah. Cut to late April. We're about to go on vacation, and I was like, oh, I want to do something that would be like a really easy, achievable goal. I really want to just like take a little bite of a project. And so I picked up for the button band. The pattern directs you to use the same needle size as you use for the rest of the garment fabric. And I did that. I started knitting it. I get about an inch in, and I am just like, I'm so mad about it. It looks really bad. Like the needle size is way too loose. It looks like very noodly. and like I hate it. So I get mad, I pull the needles out and I just throw it back in the corner. Reasonably, I know all I have to do is just go down a needle size, but instead, no, you're in the naughty corner. And there it stays for another 4 months. Looking really, really sad.
Because you just ripped the needles out of it.
Well, it was still on the needles on the body. It was just like the neckline needles.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't like fully rip the needles out. I'm not crazy. And then we got back from vacation a couple of weeks ago, and like the next day, for some reason, my brain was like, I need something just to nibble on, just a little thing that I can do, easily achievable. So I was like, okay, fine, I will pick up for this project. And within the day, had finished both sides of the button band, started on the collar, whittled away at that for a couple of days, and was like, oh, wow, that was so easy. I guess I'll add the sleeves too. And one notable change that I made to the pattern doesn't include short rows for the sleeve caps. I did add those. I just grabbed I used the T number 1 pattern from My Favorite Things Knitwear because I've knit it. And it has a similar gauge, and most importantly, it had the exact same stitch count in one of the like upper sizes.
Oh, nice.
I feel like this is like 121 stitches picked up, and like one of the upper sizes in T number 1 has 121 stitches picked up. So I just used the short rows from that. I did kind of modify them from there because she does a couple of weird things in it, but more or less I used the short rows from that, and I think it gives it a little bit more shape rather than just coming straight off the body and giving me a lot of extra fabric here. I feel like that's kind of the only modification I made. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's got these little double knit sleeve cuffs, and yeah, I'm pleasantly happy with how it turned out. I think I'm gonna mostly wear it kind of layered over things. These will be open. The buttonholes are like really tiny, but it's also not like kind of the end of the world because they do go through. And also, again, I'm not ever really gonna wear it fully buttoned up or be like buttoning and unbuttoning it a lot like I would like a cardigan. Yeah, I feel like that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, happy with how this turned out. The colors are really fun, like brown, red color. I jokingly called it bread to Rita.
Feels accurate.
That feels accurate.
Yeah.
This is like...
Or like a really dark brick that's wet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's not inaccurate. It just struck me like a brick. Yeah, very happy with how that turned out. And like so thrilled to be done with all of my flock yarn from last year to make way for other flock yarn. I think symbolically it would have been nice if it had been done prior to flock, but I was able to take it to flock and show the dyer and be like, wait, I have something to show you. And she was like, so touched. She was lovely.
Yeah, it is really fun to show off the yarn from the dyers to the dyers.
Yeah. Kate was like pretty excited to see her.
I know. I
Kennedy
need to
top.
send you the photo.
Yes.
So you
Oh
can
my
send
god,
it to
I will
her.
show her. I will absolutely send that to her.
I was like, I could email her. I was like, that feels kind of weird. So.
That feels very old of you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just gonna email you a photo. I think she would love it.
She would love it. It's just, I don't know. I'm not on any Meadow platforms, so it's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I forgot about this.
I finished the baby blanket. So Vertices Unite Baby Blanket by Stephen West, US size 7, very assorted yarns. There's some Labania May, Cascade Heritage.
Sanduskarn Smart.
Oh, Sanduskarn Smart is this pink one.
That's my default for every Vertices Unite baby blanket I've knit. It's just Sanduskarn Smart.
Yeah. But I'm really happy. I hope my
really good.
my recipient's gonna be very happy. I'm excited to gift it to her.
I'm gonna show off this like double variegated section. I remember you being like concerned about how this was gonna turn out, but like I feel like it looks really good. Like they're both distinct without being like clashing, and they kind of melt into each other, which I know is like totally contradictory. There we go.
Oh.
But like I feel like they're both distinct without being like, I don't know, aggressive.
Yeah.
Like it looks aggressive. She says holding up a neon baby blanket. But
yeah.
it looks really good.
I still think my favorite is the sugar.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I honestly, I don't think I enjoyed knitting with the Sanduskarn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Okay.
I don't know. It just felt not as smooth as the other ones.
I mean, it's not like a merino. It's just a superwash wool. So like
Okay.
that's. I mean, it's not gonna be a slinky butter soft.
Yeah.
But I feel like why I like it is that it's relatively inexpensive, and it's pretty easy for me to get both at Tea Cozy, which is a local yarn store here in Ballard. Local yarn store. Sorry to anyone who's watching.
It could be.
As well as I can order it from Mother Knitter, which is
yeah, they have good colors too.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, I don't know what the leftover like sock yarn. I'm like, I can use that, but now I just have this like leftover chunk of like this Sandus yarn, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So
baby hat. How much do you have?
Baby hat. I weighed it, but I can't remember.
What about a little like baby Oslo and just like the brim of a baby Oslo?
Oh, that would be cute too. Yes. So I'm very happy with the blanket.
Cute.
It comes just in time. We're doing our work offsite, and I think during that we're gonna celebrate the person who's pregnant, and hopefully I can give it to her then.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know. It took me like honestly for a bit. Like I was just stuck on doing this.
I
was really excited like finishing it before we went on a trip. Even to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But since I was trying to pack so light for that weekend, it felt kind of silly. Even like I had the hype to finish it on the airplane, and like I wouldn't have finished it on the airplane, but like
then you had to carry the whole baby blanket back, and you're like, this doesn't. No, I can't use this.
Yeah. And then I would have had leftover yarn and those extra needles, and I was just like, just leave it. Like it's okay. And then of course when I get back, I'm excited to keep knitting on this, not this. But I think I had lost the needles that I was working on at some point. I don't know if it was during flock or if when I was traveling.
I feel like you were working on it during flock when we were sitting on the stairs. So like...
I had switched to the neck band, so I was using my zeros.
That makes sense.
And of course I was like over optimistic crafter's audacity, being like, I might finish that, so like I should also have like the other thing with, you know, the other body piece with me. And because I was knitting on the front, and then I was like transitioning to the back. And it might have just fallen out while I was shopping and pulling out my wallet and stuff. Okay, so that was our 4 finished objects?
Yeah. Okay, so whip-wise, this is not one that I had shown in our podcast however many weeks ago. Because it hadn't been cast on. And I think most of the whips that I had in that, big stretch, in that podcast, I don't remember what I even brought. One of them is finished, and then, the Vertices Unite by Stephen West. I've snoozed it. I picked up for the 3rd section, which is like the largest kind of like single color section, and like if you're wearing it like with the 2 ends like looped around your neck, it's like right here. And I just like the first color that I used, it looked really grimy and dingy, and I wasn't like happy with how that looked. And then the second color, which is just like cream, I really wasn't happy with how the base felt. Like it is the Ovis Etc. Igne, and it is a lovely base, but everything else, I mean, it's also a non-superwash base, but like it has like a Remy, I think, a plant fiber in it.
Yes.
That is giving it a really it really felt like just a plant fiber as it's knit up. And next to like the really woolly sections, I was like, I don't love this all together, and I need to sit with it for a little bit. It needs to sit in a corner, think about it's done, and it'll be like the 8th time that I've restarted that 3rd section, because like the first 2 I was like, this looks bad, I've done this wrong surely, and then I just kept reknitting it, and I was like, you gotta sit in the other corner. Anyways, so this is a brand new just garter stitch triangle.
That's a really pretty color.
It's so pretty, and I don't know how to pronounce this brand's name, but I brought the 2 extra skeins of yarn. This is Lanivendole, something like that. This is a chic blend. I got this from Ritual Dyes, for I am a Ritual Dyes fangirl.
Really interesting feeling.
Yeah, it is 60% wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% mohair. So that's gonna be like spun into the base, rather than, like a silk mohair. So the fabric is really interesting to feel. Obviously, you can't feel it, but it's really lovely. I'm getting really weird.
This feels like they feel different.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got like an interesting halo from the alpaca, and I think ultimately, I think I might be a little sensitive to alpaca. Like Surrey silk lace weight is fine, but like This might be like a touch prickly, and I think it'll be fine because it's just gonna be like thrown around my neck. That's fine.
Over another sweater or a jacket or something.
Anyways, fully off topic. This is the colorway Selene, and they're a chic blend. And then this is the other color that I'll be using. This is Ondina. She's very, very lovely. And I had originally bought these for a different shawl pattern entirely. It was like intarsia, like half and half, and then it had circles, and those changed colors. And I think I just never like felt like I wanted to cast it on, and never got around to it. And finally was like, no, I just need to knit from stash, and I want to have something just like easy garter to knit on while we're traveling. And that's where we've ended up with this. We're just a little over here, that's fine. And so I think I'm gonna take just like the one of, I have 3 skeins of each. So this is my first skein. And I think I'm just gonna take one of the other ones that's wound up with me for our trip this week and just while away at this. This is a
shawl. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, so this marker was at like 80, it's either 75 or 80 of the like, it's just a two row repeat, there we go. You like cast on down at the bottom, and on every right side row you are increasing at the end, and on every wrong side row you are increasing and then also decreasing, which gives it this cool shape. And the pattern, it is a free pattern by Sonder Yarn Co. So I'm not giving anything away because you can just download it for free. It instructs you to do 220 repeats of just this 2-row repeat. This is 80 rows, I believe. So I think we're probably, I don't know, somewhere in the early 100s. And it's adding a stitch every single row repeat. Every back and forth you're adding, plus one. So it's going to get quite more tedious to knit the rows as it increases, and that's fine. I want something that will be
Involved.
Not involved, but like, I mean, like a little something, but not like I really need to pay like super a lot of attention while we're on like an airplane and traveling. And I only have 3 skeins of the yarn. The pattern calls for 2 skeins of just like one of Sonder Yarn because like fingering weight yarns, it doesn't have like a yardage. So I have really zero context, frame of reference for how far my 3 skeins of yarn is going to get me, because I think I have like 750 meters, maybe 760, and I think the pattern calls for like 800 plus theoretically. But because of the way that it is shaped, I'm just gonna knit until I run out and have enough to bind off and call it a day. I'm really not like that heavily concerned about size, and if I maybe think that I'm getting to like an unblocked size, it's going to be totally fine, I might just cast it off anyways. I would really love to like not have tons of this yarn laying around, again, because I think I might actually be sensitive to alpaca, but otherwise it's super lovely. It's quite an enjoyable knitting experience. This colorway has like a little bit of like green kind of throughout. It's tough to tell.
It's very like Oregon Coast, like, beach vibe. Yeah,
it feels very similar to all of the things that I bought at Flock too, which is kind of funny. And then the second color has like a little bit of purple, still some of the green. So I think it'll be like a nice chill scarf shawl thing whenever it's done as well. Yeah.
Nice. I haven't seen that one before, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I cast that on like 5 days ago.
Oh, that would be why.
My brain was like, don't knit on it too much, otherwise you'll finish it before you go to New York. I was like, there's no way I'm finishing that thing before I go to New York. That's like 1,600 yards of yarn. I'm not finishing that before I get to New York. That's insane. I'm not even finishing one side.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
But this is my home camisole. She is just been my like stockinette project.
We do love a stockinette project.
Yeah, I've just been like bringing her like sometimes to work. We've been watching Twilight in theaters, and it's my like once we finish devouring
obviously
our box of large popcorn.
That takes us like 5 minutes into the movie though.
Look at this last time after you had just run and I hadn't eaten anything.
I was so hungry.
We went through that large popcorn like crazy. And it was like, oh, movie's not even basically started. And we finished this.
I was really impressed with that.
Yeah. It goes down in the Hall of Fame for me.
Yeah.
But I am still terrified of like, I think the sizing is fine. We had alluded to this last time.
Slurp that up really nicely.
So I might,
way to describe that.
I might try to, I don't know, like which, if I want to finish the body and then do these, or if I should do these now. But I'm just having a good time. I think she's gorgeous. This is a flock purchase last year, and I'm loving it. Nice. It's just nice and easy, thoughtless stockinette. I was previously doing helical knitting. I gave up on that when I had to redo it for the third time. But I am dedicated, and this will happen. Yeah. And so I'm just like knitting on this while we're talking.
I personally like to do all of the finishing and trims before I finish the body on a summer top.
Well, that's what I did, and then it really bit me in the ass having to like undo it all.
I knit a summer top a couple of years ago. It was like the Melodies or Melodist top by Vertices. And I finished it entirely. It's like fingering weight silk. I block it and I like try it on, and like it takes me like, I don't know, 12 hours at most to come to terms with the fact that like this is actually just like 2 inches too long in the straps. And so I had to like undo all of the I-cords and then like chop that off and then graft it back together and then redo the I-cords. I don't wear the top at all, so
but
that's fine.
But you know it fits.
Yeah, it does fit me. Who's next? Okay, let's do this one. This is one of the other 2 whips that has.
I know I've seen it before, but like it looks so good.
This is the Market Henley by Claire Jackson, a perfectly knotted. You'll note that it is not a Henley because I didn't want to make it a Henley. I had a vision of a crew neck sweater. She's got a cute little pop of color. The yarn I'm using is Red Dwarf Fibre Studio. I think it's her natural fingering base, just 100% merino.
Oh, that's why I like the color so much.
It's a nice 4-ply, I think, non-superwash merino yarn, in the colorway Always. I didn't write this down because I was like, surely I will remember. It was one of the seasonal, tucked away in there. It's one of the seasonal epic, anyways, color name is ... anyways. This from the epic seasonal mini collection. I bought 3 skeins. I am 99% certain I'm going to run out of yarn. I have a really specific vision of like the fit of this. I want it to be like just below like waist length. I want it to be like cropped. Not like super cropped, but like, you know, below the hem of, or like the top of my jeans, but like not super much longer than that. A little bit tapered in the body, so I will be doing body decreases. But
long sleeves you want?
Yeah, I want long sleeves. I want them to be like wide enough, and I want them to taper, and I want them to be like specifically, you know, a nice length. I think on the way to the gym this morning, I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm willing to let the vision go a little bit. What I would be okay with is, so I have like approximately this much yarn, two of this much yarn. What a way to say that. No. Oh. So I have 2 balls that look about like this, and then I have
getting much closer.
1 full skein of yarn. So my plan is to knit the sleeves with the full skein of yarn, and I would like to see how far that gets me, or at least like knit the first sleeve with the full skein of yarn, see how far that gets me, and then my hope is that that does not take, you know, all of it, or like both sleeves do not take the full skein of yarn. The Winona Polo, not that this is like the best point of reference because it's a different gauge and stitch pattern and yarn entirely, but all of the Winona sleeve down to the cuff, not the cuff, but everything down to the cuff took like 53 grams of yarn. Which is like a lot, but like also I had 47 grams left. This is what I'm basing it off of. I didn't weigh this cane beforehand, which like I should have. But it's also a lot wider. There's a lot more sleeve.
This is so pretty.
It's so pretty.
You might have to come upstairs with me and like help me figure out how I can copy that.
Oh, okay. Twist my arm. Anyways, back to the vision.
Sorry.
So I'm okay, and I'm probably gonna block this before I do anything else on it. I just put it back on the needles, and I think I'm gonna have to take it back off to block it, which is fine, because I want to see how the stitch pattern expands. But what I'm trying to say is I'm fine with like one of the sleeves having like color blocking at the bottom.
Cool.
Just like a single sleeve. I feel like, I don't know why, but like 2 sleeves having color blocking doesn't feel right. But like I kind of like the idea of like 1 sleeve having like color blocking from like here on. Like I think that would be fun.
That vest that I loved, and you recognized the pattern right away. When we were at Flock.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Oh, okay. But I really like, specifically with like the body to be a length that I want it to be. But I'm excited. This was a weird little impulse purchase. Oh yeah, the koi vest. Yeah. And because I was concerned about running out of yarn, I did a little pop of color on the inside, and I do feel like you can like kind of see it through the neckband, but like I'm not mad about that. And this is Explore Knit's Earthy Sock in Lemon Drop, which I knit a hat out of.
Obsessed with that hat.
Earlier, well, technically last year, and then earlier this year, I think. That's not relevant. And I had just a little nugget of it left over and decided, perfect, a little pop. Ideally, I would love this color at the bottom of the sleeve, but I do not have enough, most certainly, to finish a sleeve. So we'll see what happens with that. I think, yeah, next step is going to be just block it, see where it sits afterwards, and then start on a sleeve. I used to be someone who really liked, when I'm knitting a sweater, like finishing the sleeves and then finishing the body, and more lately I'm finding that like the full weight of everything hanging off the needles is like not super pleasant on my wrists. And so like a couple of sweaters recently I've like finished the body and then done the sleeves, which is like groundbreaking, Elena, but like I feel like that's a lot more comfortable on my wrists. And like, okay, cool, growing as a knitter, but not in the way that I wanted to.
Okay, so I think this is acquisitions now?
No, I have one more whip.
Oh, you have one more? Okay, I left the Sandro upstairs.
I see.
I'm trying to be really good about just having 2 or 3.
Well, this one I did make progress on from last time.
Oh,
this is my Harriet sweater by Lanivendole.
So
I'm knitting the small, medium-sized stitch counts, but my gauge is a little larger, so it's going to give me something more like the medium-large. Honestly, at this point, I think we're just going to walk and see what happens someday. I think previous podcast I had just finished this flower motif, and I have since finished all of the color work on the body and just have some stockinette on the body. I'm trying to decide if I want to finish the body or if I want to do the sleeves, because I think I'm going to be playing yarn chicken. I definitely do not think that I have enough yarn to entirely finish this. I don't remember what the yardage estimate is or yardage requirement is. I definitely do not have that. I think I have like 1,250 yards of this Ritual Dyes Maven colorway. And I feel like it wants like 1,300 plus or something. And I was like, it's also, but it's something that I can easily purchase just like another skein of. And I think at most I'm going to need 1 more skein.
Could you do like purple cuffs or something?
I don't think I would like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like, again, it's not the end of the world, but I think I should probably start the sleeves, at least finish the color work, see how that, looks. I have like most of the 50-gram skein of yarn left and then 2 more 50-gram skeins. And I think those 2 50s will get me through the sleeves easily. And then I want to see how far I can get on the body. Because granted, the second skein of 50-gram skein of yarn, there we go. I don't know where the starting point of that was, but I feel like it was either somewhere just within the color work or like right before the color work. So like 150-gram skein of yarn, granted with color work, got me pretty far into the body. So like I could be fine, but like if I have to add in a new skein of yarn, I'd rather it be in the ribbing on the body, because that's fine. And again, I just don't want to have to alternate skeins because I'm a lazy little baby. But this is my Harriet sweater. I'm very excited with her. I'd like to have her done before a trip to, where am I going?
Ireland?
Ireland, yeah. I'd like to have her done before we go to Ireland and London. But otherwise, that's like October. That's like 2 months away. Oh my God. That's like forever in the future. And like this is easily going to be done. This was technically one of my stretch goals for the aforementioned in the previous podcast. Knitting goals. I have this and the Market Henley noted as this is a stretch goal, and I don't think I'm going to finish either of these, and that's totally fine. I finished like the 2 longest lingering whips on my needles, which were the Polo and the BB. So I'm fine if I don't hit that goal. These were again stretch goals.
Yeah.
And again, what I said about the list last time in the last podcast was exactly how it went down. Is I finished the one thing that I was really excited about and was like, the list is arbitrary and the list does not define me. And then spontaneously I was like, the list maybe defines me a little though. And I picked up and finished the Polo with like the weirdest, like most feral energy too. I was like, I have to finish this.
Sometimes you just get excited.
I need to, just let the whip tell me when it needs to be done, and then I can pick it back up again. Apparently that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I haven't really touched that. I think I brought that to Flock. I think I knit a couple rounds on it after finishing color work and was like, okay, well that's like not exciting to me anymore. And then I took it to Flock and I was like, I knit like 4 rounds on that in the last couple of weeks.
So beautiful. I love that sweater so much.
It is so beautiful. You should knit one of them.
Yeah. I just had a vision of like making one like orange. Yeah.
She's crazy.
I know.
Okay, wait, let's explore that
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I was like, that would be really nice. Anyway.
Honestly, though, you've mentioned this orange sweater, and my brain is
Yeah.
immediately like, okay, when can I get home and take a look at this on Stitch Fiddle? I love Stitch Fiddle. This is not an ad. I'm not sponsored by
I think
Stitch
she
Fiddle.
mentioned this in the first episode too.
Anytime I mention a service, I just think it's really funny to be like, I love this thing, not an ad, but like, it's so fun.
Yeah. But I guess now that sentence is more relevant now that we're like actually
Content creators.
on the YouTube. But she does just like regularly say that before we were on YouTube.
Anytime I mention Xbox Game Pass, too,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, and this game is on Xbox Game Pass, not an ad.
Not sponsored.
It's like, hi, we're all just hanging out on Discord. Cool. I think I'm funny.
I think you're funny too.
Thank you.
And I think I'm funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, jerk.
Yes.
Okay, acquisition time.
Acquisition time.
Okay, I'll start off. I bought a lot of stuff at Flock.
We did, okay, I want to preface this. This looks like, okay, I didn't actually bring all of the yarn I just brought. If there's anything that like, that's not even totally true. I brought like 50% of the yarn that I purchased because, many of it had multiple skeins. And then I think I forgot one at home because I was like, this has already wound up into a cake.
Yeah. I had a bad yarn buying habit. So I bought, and I don't knit super fast. So I have a lot of yarn.
You were buying yarn to keep up with me, which didn't make a lot of sense.
Because I don't knit at your pace.
Yeah.
It's very reasonable. So I went through a yarn clean out and now have just stuff that I'm like really excited to knit with.
And I think most of it has projects assigned to it.
Yeah. I've been like, I feel really good about where my stash is right now. But when I was like shopping at Flock, I was looking at stuff and I was like I was trying to be like really conscious. And so I only bought 2 sweater quantities, but I did buy a lot of like random accoutrement. Like there's a necklace that I'm wearing.
You get a lot of random accoutrement.
Yeah. I just love
You
artists.
love little
and
things.
craft makers, and I really like supporting them. And I don't know, I think it's really a great way to use the funds that I have. And I don't know, makes me feel fulfilled, and I get a beautiful object.
Yeah.
So, got a mug and got like a little sheep mobile that was for children, but I put it up in my craft room.
You kept picking it up and then putting it down and then picking it up and then putting it down. You're like, this is for kids. I think finally we were like, just buy it if it's gonna bring you joy.
It's just like, it's like literally designed for babies. But like, I see it and I keep tapping it when I walk by and I'm like, because it's just like little, I'll insert a video.
Yeah.
But like the little sheep like rotate in the sky and it's very magical.
Yeah, it's very magical.
Yeah.
They're just like silly and fluffy and it's so cute.
Yeah. But
I go back to that video actually because you're just so pleased with it.
Yeah, I was just sending it to her and her brother, like the people we went shopping with. And I was like, the fucking majesty. Because like it blew my brain. I loved it.
Yeah.
But that said, I'm just gonna show like the crafting related objects that I bought and not like my household things. The only one household thing that I'll show is this tiny little sheep who is the cutest thing in the world. There was a bunch of little felted guys. There were like ghosts that were knitting and they had like tiny balls of yarn. I don't know, I thought it was so cute, but I couldn't resist this guy just being so cute, and like lavender's so calming. I don't know, it just like soothed me seeing him. So
he's very happy with his little face.
Yeah, he sits at my desk, and I'm reminded of good times and to take a breath. So I love him.
Well, these are not necessarily in any particular order, but in one particular order. My first purchase of the day was, so we beelined straight to ZZ Textiles, who remains one of my favorite dyers. She's so sweet. The first day I was wearing a top, I think the top that I wore in the, gesturing with this, the top that I wore in the first episode, the mixed strip cami in her shade colorway. It's like a blurple. I walk into the booth, we're like, it's masked shopping for the first 2 hours. Like, I'm wearing a mask. I walked past her and she was like, oh my God, I love your top. She recognizes me too. Oh my God, I love your top. And I was like, thank you. It's shade. I bought it last year at Flock. And she's like, I know. And it just is good fun.
The hype of Flock is real.
It was pretty hype, yeah. Anyways, I beelined to her booth and bought 5 skeins of this Falkland DK in the colorway Broom, which she describes as the iciest of periwinkles, which I think is pretty accurate. I think the lighting indoors at Flock was like a little more, I don't know, it was looking a little more purple, whereas like now it looks like really icy blue, which makes it really funny with the rest of my purchases, which are all approximately blue. I'm just holding true to all of my Flock purchases being approximately the same color.
What was your color first year?
I don't remember anything about the first year. I'm gonna be so real with you.
I was like, I don't remember.
Last year we did 2 days of Flock. I mean, we did 2 days of Flock this year. The first day of Flock, everything I purchased was like approximately purple. And then the second day was like approximately this brown-red color. This is actually a great visual representation of the 2 days of Flock. Purple and then blue. Brown.
Bread. Wet brick.
Anyways, I have 5 skeins of this. I think I'm either going to do some kind of cabled sweater. I might have to buy 2 more skeins from her sweater quantity pre-order website, or sweater quantity pre-order on her website. There we go. Which is totally fine. She only had 5 skeins, and I said, those are mine. Those are coming home with me. This is a 70% Falkland wool, 15% baby alpaca, 15% silk base. It's really lovely and squashy and soft, and I think if it is not my like New Year's cable cast on, I think it will be cast on maybe a little sooner than that, because I'm really in love with the color of this. It's so pretty.
It is gorgeous.
I also bought, and I didn't bring it with me because it's caked up, and I started knitting with it, and then I didn't like what I was knitting with it, so I ripped that all out, and then I forgot the cake on the table as I was packing because my bag hoofing it over here was so full. But I bought another skein of this Falkland DK base, but her Eldritch colorway, and it's that like variegated skein that I like bought on the second day, and I was like, I just can't let it go.
Yes.
And on the non-superwash base, it's just like really melty and like painterly, watercolory, but like moody, spooky, painterly. It was just very beautiful. I couldn't put it down the first day and was like, I have to go back for that actually. Anyways. I'm so happy about that.
I like I said, bought sweater quantities. This was my first yarn purchase.
Oh my God.
I captured my brain and I couldn't let go of it.
You saw a cowl.
Yeah, knit up with like night like stars that were yellow.
It was so pretty.
It just like looked like dusky, moody colors. The sky was just beautiful. I don't know. So this is Sea Change Fibres, who I hadn't heard of before, so that was exciting to buy a new thing. It's called Bucolic as the color, and it's a DK weight, and it's 100% Falklands Merino. And it's very soft, and it was really beautiful just seeing it up in the cowl. And the lady was really nice, because I think there were only 4 sitting out, and so I asked her if I could have 2 more.
Yeah, if she had 2 more.
If she had 2 more, just because I was
If she
thinking,
only had the 4, we could have figured out a project for it, honestly.
But I'm happy because I think I am planning some sort of like stockinette sweater
Ooh,
just to have the color on full display.
The dad sweater.
Yeah, it's what because we tried
That's
to get
just what we were mentally eyeballing.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure I had enough yards to do something that I knew I would wear, and I really like the dad sweater.
You wear the crap out of your dad's sweater.
Dad sweater. And I don't know. It's just the blues. It blended up so beautifully.
So pretty.
So I was very grateful that she had made some sort of sample. Yeah. Because my brain has a really hard time like looking at this and like understanding if I'm gonna like how it's gonna look like single strands next to each other. So that was very helpful. Mm-hmm. And this was my first like when I saw it, I was like, oh no.
When you get like panicky and sweaty about like, oh God, what if someone else buys this while I'm holding it? Yeah. You're like, I can't put it down.
It's like everyone's very kind at Flock. Like no one's gonna take it out of my hands. But yeah.
It's still the panic.
Still the panic. So first yarn purchase.
I'm gonna hold these 2 up together. These are from Pigment and Plies. This first one, these are both on her silky sock base. This is Not a Villain, Not a Damsel. And this is Various Storms and Saints. And I really like Pigment and Ply as well.
This was always pretty poppin' too. I was kind of scared to go in there.
She's from the UK, question mark? She's not from the US, so she traveled a long distance, and like shipping is generally pretty expensive, and honestly the exchange rate is not always super favorable. So like I understand why her booth was poppin', but like every time it really did feel like I was like, goodbye, I will see you perhaps in the future, I don't know, and like you disappear into the sea of people. Just into the wall. She brought a really interesting selection of bases.
I'm like I don't know, it like stresses me out too much to go in environments like that. So like no matter how much I love it, I'll be like, no, I can't.
It really depends. Yeah. It really depends for me. She had posted that she was bringing, I think this one was one of the festival exclusives, maybe? I don't know. But she had 3 different colors that she was bringing like exclusive to the festival. I feel like that was the vibe of the Instagram post. I don't remember. It isn't relevant. But I remember seeing this one and being like, well, I have to have that. And then I saw this, but I also couldn't put it down because of the blues. She's so pretty.
It's so interesting. I'm glad you made a comment about the light because like these looked entirely different when we them.
They definitely look like sadder and not grungier. That's also like the worst way to describe it. They just looked like darker overall. I think in the festival, like it's like, you know, new
fluorescent lighting maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. They looked a little different. I'm really happy with both of them. This one is just like so good. So when I grabbed the silk sock base, I really truly thought that there were no actual like superwash nylon sock bases. Mm-hmm. My brother splunked into there and was like, oh no, there was totally superwash nylon, and I was like, oh, I'm just stupid. So I'm not totally certain what I'm gonna do with this. I think I might do a version of the till, that like garter stitch, and just like knit and then knit until, or like knit one side in one until it runs out, and then knit the other in side. And I think that will give me like a decently sized like little bandana-ish thing. Because this is already like a decent size, and I haven't even used like 250 grams. Like I think I think that'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. And like they're just pretty, and honestly, if they just sit around bringing me joy, yes. I mean, I'd love for them to have a use, but I don't think I will use them for socks because they just feel like too precious and beautiful for socks. Mm-hmm. But this is, I think, one of my only like weird little impulse purchases where it's like, why did I buy 2 skeins of silk sock yarn? But also I'm happy with them.
Shocked that I did not leave.
I was really proud of you.
With like the socks.
I was confused, but I was proud.
I was really, I looked. Like I tried to find something, and like there was nothing that really spoke to me.
Yeah.
Happens.
My next, or are you next?
I think you just went over your Pigment and Ply.
Oh, I did, yeah.
So this is the other yarn that I bought. Red Dwarf Fibre again. Realizing, I think from last year, that like, I think she's like, I was calling her like my spirit dyer. Mm-hmm. Like the places that she finds inspiration from and does collections off of are like media or things that like I really like. So I connect with that level of the art.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I really like her execution of the colors and like what she's pulling inspiration from. And then also like love her.
She's so sweet.
She has so much energy and is so fun and like very welcoming. I don't know. I was just like, like you remember me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I remember, I think we stopped in during the mask shopping and it was like packed in there. And so we like, you know, looked around. I think you saw Star Drop Saloon, which is the yarn that you've purchased. And we like, okay, we got to think about it. And then we went back in after lunch and like it's so much quieter. And she like takes a single look at me. She's at the table straightening something out. She was like, oh my God, hi. Thank you so much for coming. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, thank you.
She's so lovely.
She's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fun that they remember people year to year. I was like, I don't know if you remember me from last year or you just remember me as the person who's always like hearting the stories of your dogs on Instagram. Your dog.
Yeah, but her and the friend or the other person who's working in the booth.
Her husband?
That's her husband. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not on Instagram, so
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know anything about their relationship. It was just a man who was there.
Oh yeah, Thomas, that's her husband.
Okay, yeah. They seemed very cute and very lovely. But Red Door Fibre Studio. This is again Timeless Decay. It's a superwash merino and a Star Drop Saloon, which is
We do love Stardew.
Yeah, we do love Stardew Valley. It's based on a video game, and it's the little tavern where everybody goes in the community and like has a drink, so you can see everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how like red, brown, warm this was.
It's very rich.
It's very rich. And I was like, I need this. But we walked away because I was like, I couldn't quite think of like a pattern. I've now forgotten what even pattern.
You were gonna do the stick season.
Oh my God, yes.
I have a better memory for what you're gonna knit than what I intend to knit.
No, I'm like, oh yeah, there was this thing that I was gonna do. And you're like, it was gonna be the stick season with Star Drop Saloon or something. Like, it just like, she just knows. It's great. Yes, so look forward to that. Hopefully being cast on at some point.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. Oh, this is actually a two-parter.
Okay, so one of the dyers I found last year at Flock, little Fibre Co.
God, that color's so good.
Isn't it so pretty? I knit that purple walnut sweater that I showed in the episode last time. Whenever that was, I almost said last week. No, it was not last week. Anyways, back on track. She only works with non-superwash bases, which is like kind of fun, kind of unique. And so this is her woolen Corriedale fingering. It is 100% non-superwash Corriedale. Just like hefty little skein of yarn. This is like almost 500 yards of yarn for 100 grams.
Wow.
So like beefy. This is the color Wonderful. I think it's from her Cinderella collection, which she's currently like announcing on Instagram, and she'll be doing like a pre-order, but she had it there at Flock. So I have two skeins of this yarn. And originally I ducked in, smooshed all of the yarn and was like, well, I really love this color and this base, but I don't know what I would do with it. And I had gone to Flock with a bunch of different plans for like color work projects. And I think ultimately only really purchased yarn for the texture of my boss. That's fun.
We're filming with her phone.
Yeah. Ultimately went back and bought two skeins of this. So one of them is just at home for the sheep sweater by Rosa Pomar, and there'll be little blue sheeps. I feel like that's really silly and whimsical. But I had a vision in my head of wanting like and I don't wear brown really, so this is like extra weird of me, but I had this vision in my head of like a deep brown, like not quite chocolate, not like black, but like I feel like a lot of the time in like Jameson and Smith, I see it named as like Shetland black, so just like kind of the natural black brown. So I wanted something that was like not too like warm. And at the Wool Friends booth, they are a brand new Seattle business. They're not like really a yarn store. They're not really a fabric
Fibre
store.
Studio?
Yeah, it's like a maker space, but for like fiber textile arts. So they have a lot of classes there, and you can pay an amount to become a member, and then you have access to like their studio space for like, the specific hours a day that they're open. But they also sell lots of cones of yarn, and so we ducked in and found this lovely color. In some lights, she feels a little more purple. This is Brown Sheep Company Natural Spun Fingering in the colorway Storm. And so my plan is to hold these together. I'm pretty excited about this brown, and this is a cone with like, I feel like it said probably 2,800 yards. So I will have easily enough for this sweater and probably enough for another. And ultimately, for whatever reason, if I decide that I don't want to do these two together, I could easily make like a DK weight sweater out of this held double. Although I don't anticipate not loving these together. This is, I think, gonna be a relatively soon cast on. I'm trying to decide if I want to cast it on like right this very second, or if I want to like, I don't know, finish the other things when I've got on the needles. Do you have any other yarn to share?
No, that's all my yarn.
I could have sworn you bought more yarn.
No, I know. I
I'm
bought
so
just
impressed
2
with you.
sweater
Wow.
quantities. I
Okay.
think being tired saved me and makes me sad now. I don't know.
More yarn can always be purchased.
That's true.
Yeah, there's always next year. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my last purchase, and this is kind of like a silly little impulse purchase. I like follow a lot of people who are spinners and create spinning content and post spinning fiber, and I'm not a spinner, and ultimately I don't think I can have another hobby in my life, although I'd like to get into machine knitting. I think that could be fun. Anyways, there's a fiber artist who creates really beautiful fiber braids. I don't know all of the fiber stuff, but at the festival she had some hand spun yarn in a little basket, and she also dyes a little bit of yarn too, and I had to go back after lunch for these. These are like the only thing that like is so silly. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's like 216 yards of yarn, really expensive, but like they're so cute. They're hand spun. They're so cute. This is some hand spun from Kira Wiggins. She's got these beautiful like embossed labels. Like I'm such a sucker for a beautiful label. They're like this beautiful like slate blue color, and they are 70% Jacob wool, 20% cashmere, and then 10% recycled silk. So they're like a little tweedy, lots of colors in there, and I'd really love for it to be something that I will use a lot. So like a little, I don't know about a Sophie scarf, but like something vibe-wise kind of similar that I can wear around the neck. It's like pretty soft, or wild idea, like color work, something in a color work, but I don't know that that's gonna like, I don't know, I want it to be like used to its like fullest potential, but I don't know what its fullest potential is currently. It's gonna show me what it wants to be someday, and until then I'm just gonna carry them around with me. They make me really happy. They're just so cute. When I got home from Flock and just like collapsed on the couch and was knitting, I think on my Polo, I pulled them out of the bag and just set them on the ottoman in front of me so I could just like look at them and just pet them a little bit. That was, I think, my last yarn purchase.
Great.
Very happy with them.
Yeah, the labels on those are so cool.
It's so nice. I love a good label. And one, I didn't bring mine because I forgot it, and I was like, I knew I'm gonna forget this. But we got these little matching stitch markers. This is Rita's. We have these little matching stitch markers from Sea Change Fiber. They're both little lizards.
So cute.
And once upon a time, an actor in a Beetlejuice haunted house
Who was playing Beetlejuice?
Who's an actor playing Beetlejuice in a Beetlejuice haunted house.
You're waiting in line to get in, so you're sneaking in, right? So they have him hired basically.
Yeah. He's just performing a little comedy set, kind of.
And just like razzing the crowd.
Yeah. And like we're waiting in line, we're sneaking through. He says something about we got snakes and lizards and whatever inside, and like we have like 5 minutes earlier just had a conversation about how me and Rita's husband don't like snakes, and so he says we've got snakes and lizards inside, and we both look at each other like, ooh, snakes, but he misunderstands this as we don't like lizards, so he points at both of us and yells, "The lizard girls!" And we were like, "You're the lizard girls!" And
and it just became a kind of joke the whole weekend. And now
that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
And now we look at lizards and like them.
We're like, oh my god, the lizard girls!
That's us. We're the lizard girls. So thank you, random Beetlejuice actor.
Thank you to this random Beetlejuice man who will never see this video.
Yeah. Could you imagine? So
that was me.
Yeah, he's like, wow, no. He's a knitter. We didn't know.
I would love that. That would actually make my year.
Okay, this was my little stitch marker. So I think of it as a salmon berry.
It's very cute.
I think I showed a picture to somebody else and they thought it was a raspberry. So
It's too light to be a raspberry.
can be interpreted. I mean, maybe if it's like ripening or something.
I think she's just wrong. That's okay.
Open to interpretation, I'll allow it.
Sorry to that
To me-
lady, but she was wrong.
To me, it's a cute little salmon berry. And it made me think of hiking when you're walking around here and you just get to eat the salmon berries and they're just such a little gift from the earth. So I was like,
It's not an experience I've ever had, but okay.
we'll have to take you hiking.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm so fine on the couch, though.
And then from, that was Jess and Mabel and Jess.
Something like that.
And then we went, obviously 2 days, so back on Sunday, and I saw this marker and I was like, that's so cute. I like, can't buy that, that's ridiculous. I didn't purchase it. KT bought it. So we were with one of my coworkers, one of my friends, and she's
so cool.
yeah, she's really cool. And I was
I
like,
hope you're watching this.
I actually haven't sent it to her. I'm too scared. She's too cool. And I don't know if she like partakes in like podcasts. Like that's why I sent it to Dana because I know she does watch them. And anyway, so she presented this to me and it was a little gift and I got really excited. And she was like, Rita, you were like, she said it was like the most obvious thing. They were like, obviously I bought that for you. You were like, oh no, I can't buy it. She was like, I'm already purchasing it. So
I've literally already bought it for you.
She threw it in for me and I just love it. Because there's all those like really hip, cool, like gummy bear like earrings and necklaces and stuff. And I don't think I would wear one of them, but I really like them. So now I have one that I can use.
Cute. I think that's everything that also one last thing of buttons that I purchased. These are allegedly vintage mother of pearl buttons. I actually have 2 different sizes of very similar buttons, but they're all slightly smaller than this and like a dark gray. But these are a nice little white shank button. I like a shank button. And I'm happy with those. I didn't have anything I was going to attach them to, but I was like, well, those are nice. Those are coming home with me.
Yeah, pretty white. I feel like you can't go too wrong with that. I bought some stuff for like hobbiting accessories. This is
So pretty.
velvet ribbon, and it was just like a pretty beautiful like thick green. It's very soft.
I think you could use that for like stays pretty easily.
Yeah,
like
I was thinking
decor.
Or like maybe if you're like just tying the pieces together on top.
Yeah.
So
or like in your
that
hair, that would be pretty.
But the hardest choice was just like selecting what color. And so I bought these also. These are just like raw silk.
Selecting what color? What do you mean? You're always gonna go with green.
Well, yeah, but then what do I do?
Okay, fair. Okay.
So there were a ton of colors. These were all plant dyed. That was like her whole setup for. Well, this actually doesn't say what brand it was, but I don't remember. I can't remember either.
It's literally out of my brain.
She had a lot of cool stuff, but I kept coming back to like this little like box of ribbons, like digging through them, and I was like, I can't decide what color. So, but it felt like red and white were like pretty safe colors, and I will be able to incorporate them to things. And I think those were all the fun purchases.
I also got some stickers that I didn't bring with me.
Oh yeah, and that cool pin. Yeah, maybe we can like throw together like a final picture and be like, this is what we got here.
I tried to take a photo of all of my purchases, and my home is just not conducive to like visually beautiful lighting, and just like, I don't know if it's just the way that our windows face or the fact that we have dogs and everything is covered in a fine layer of dog hair. We clean, I promise. But
you know how dogs are, covered in hair.
So hurtful of them.
And so good for us. Okay, I think that's everything though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, us and the little sheep will say bye. And we'll see
Thank
you
you for
next
joining
time.
us. Bye.
Bye.
Perhaps you need this.
So life.
I know.
The camera, it's a video.
Oh. Okay, Devanshi.
Thank you.